right, good afternoon, I guess. Welcome. I hope you all had a great weekend. We'll go ahead and get started in a seat. So find that seated position, whatever's comfortable, and we'll give it a moment. Can let everybody else jump on, and let's find our breath. So we'll do a little bit of breath work to start. So hands on the knees, roll those shoulders down and back, close down those eyes. Just nice, easy breathing out, breathing in and out through the nose. And nothing forced, just natural. Focus on the inhale and on that exhale. One more breath. Make this one a little bit bigger, really pull that breath in, big expansion through that rib cage. And exhale it out. Good, now let's reach those arms up. We're gonna go right into that hip stretch. So reaching those arms forward, you can kind of stagger those feet a little bit, nice flat back. So lifting through that chest, keep those hips grounded down. Then we can walk those hands up, maybe a little bit more, just depending on how those hips are feeling. Maybe give it a little sway from side to side. And then walk those hands back, and then let's switch that cross of the legs. Again, those feet can be just slightly staggered. Okay, maybe flexing those feet a little bit more. And then we can walk those hands forward and just stretching out through those outer hips. And if you want to add that little sway. And then let's walk those hands back. Let's twist it over to that right side. Sit tall on that inhale. Exhale a little deeper into that twist. Let's go into the center. Go right over to the other side. Bring it back to center. Let's come on to those hands and knees. So hands are right underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath those hips. Cat cow. So inhale, drop that belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. Exhale, let's round that spine, press the shoulder blades away, and then we'll keep that spine rounded. We'll just bring it back into a child's pose. So try not to adjust those knees. We'll keep them stacked right underneath those hips. And then we'll round that spine, bring it back up, really pull that belly up and in. Then we'll drop that belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round it as you press those hips back to that child's pose. Roll it back up, drop that belly, lift the chest, add the tailbone. Last one, round that spine, bring it on back. And round as we bring it back up, flatten out that back. Let's send that right leg back, flex that foot, point those toes down. We'll curl that knee into the nose. Press that leg out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, press it out. Last time, curl that knee in. Press it back out. Sweep that leg over to that right side. Then inhale, bend. You can bring a slight bend into that knee. And then again, we'll flatten out. Not flatten. We're going to arch the back, lifting the chest and the tailbone. And then exhale, we'll round that spine. Draw that belly up and in. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, look up. Exhale, round. Last one. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. Bring it to neutral. We're going to press the hips back, so maybe just a few inches to start. Bring it back up. Exhale, press it back a little further. Inhale, bring it back up. And exhale, press those hips back. Now hold, just keeping that back as flat as you can. And now bring it back up, sending that leg back. Left arm is going to reach forward. Press that heel, reach those fingers. Exhale, curl it and draw that elbow to the knee. Inhale, reach it out long. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. Last time, curl that knee in. Inhale, reach it out. And lower that hand down, lower the knee down. Other side, press that left leg straight back. Then exhale, curl that knee in. Press it back out. Curl it in. Press it out. Last time, curl it in. Press it back out. Now swing that leg over into those cat-cows. So inhale, drop that belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. And round. Last one, lift. And round. And then bring it to neutral, pressing those hips back just a bit to start. Bring it back up. Exhale, press it back, maybe a little bit further. Bring it back up. Last time, press it on back as far as you can, keeping, think of a lift almost through that tailbone and through that chest. And then bring it back up. Sending that leg back, reaching that right arm forward. Find the balance. Curl in. Reach it out. Curl it in. Reach it out. Last one. Curl it in. Reach it out. He'll lower that hand down. Lower the knees down. Toes together. Knees as wide as you can get them. So maybe off of the mat. So a big stretch. A little more stretch to those inner thighs. Reaching the arms forward. Resting that chest, chin, or maybe even the forehead. That's a little bit too aggressive. Just a few more breaths. Let's come back up onto hands and knees. Go ahead and step it back to our plank. Let's hold that plank. Let's warm up through that core. We'll add a little twist to it this time. So feet a little bit wider. Heels to the right, hands stay down. Center to the left, to the right, and left, and right, left, right, left, right, to the left. One more time. Right, left, center, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press those hips up. Downward facing dog. Slight bend in those knees. Maybe pedal out those feet. So you maybe lift that tailbone up. Press those heels down. Slight bend in those knees. Maybe it's a big bend in those knees. And then we'll walk those feet up to the hands. Find that flat back. So we're going to bring our hands to the shins. Lift it up. Exhale it down. Just let that head hang heavy. Then we'll bend into those knees, flatten out that back. Go ahead and rise on up. Let's interlace those fingers, bend it over to that right side. Let's pause it here, that nice side stretch. Bring it back up. We'll go over to that left side. To bring it back up. Now we're going to step those feet out a little bit wider, toes out, heels and hands will come to heart center. We're going to go into those squats. We got 5 of them. Sink those hips down, press those knees out, then come back up. That's 1. Down, pause, and up 2, down, up 3, last 2, down, hold, press those knees out, 4, last 1, down, and up 5. Turn those feet parallel, reach those arms up, and then reach for those toes, or maybe ankles or shins. Another breath. And then bend into those knees. Let's rise up. We're going to take a big step open. Okay, turning those toes out. We're going to go into those side lunges now. So angle the toes out so we lunge into that knee. The knee and the toes are pointing about the same direction. Okay, so you can bring the hands to heart center. You can bring them all the way down towards the ground.
sinking into, if I'm mirroring you guys, it would be your all's left knee. So hips are down, chest is up. Hold it for another breath. Feeling a little bit of a stretch through this, your right inner thigh. Maybe. Back to center, and then over to that other side. Hips down, chest is up, nice flat back. Come over to that first side. Center to the other side. Go one more time each way. Over to the left. And center. Over to the right. Bring it to center. Turn those toes in. So feet, the outside edges of the feet are nice and parallel. Again, flatten out that back, and then we can walk those hands back as we pull. Just look between those legs, maybe even planting those hands firmly on the mat. So think lifting through the chest, and you can use those hands to pull that chest between those legs a little bit more. And then we'll bend those knees, come all the way up to standing, stepping those feet back to the front of the mat. Again, 5 more squats. So turn those toes out, heels in, hands come to heart center, hips down, pause, and up, down, pause, back up, 3 more, down, up, down, up. Last one, we're gonna hold this one. So if you wanna press those elbows inside the knees, a little bit more stretch those inner thighs, you have that option. Or if you want it to be a little bit more of a strength posture, you can press those knees out using your glutes and lift those hips up a tiny bit higher. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Again, straighten those legs as we fold. Hang out here for a moment. Now, flatten out that back. You might have to bring those hands up a little bit higher. Big bend into that right knee. Now, if your feet are super wide, walk your feet a little bit closer together first. Bend into that right knee. Left arm is going to reach up. Lower that hand down. We'll switch sides. Bending into that left knee. Right arm reaches up. Lower the hands down as we fold. Let's do that 2 more times each side. Flatten out that back. Left arm reaches up. And down. Other side, bending into the left knee. Right arm reaches up. Lower both hands down, fold. So you can go a little bit more rounding through that spine. And then bend to the knees. Last one, bend the right knee a little bit more. Left arm reaches up. And down. And to the other side. And down. Plant those hands. Let's step those feet back to a plank. Do a little back extension here. So lower down onto your stomach. Point the toes. Okay. We're going to roll the shoulders down and back. Lift that chest up. Rib cage stays down on the mat. And lower. Press. Lift a little higher. And down. Press. Lift. And down. So now we're going to do one more. If you want to go all the way up into that up dog where the hips are lifting off the mat, you can just pull those shoulders down away from the ears. Nice long neck. If you want to get a little sway from side to side, that's fine. And then from here, knees go wide, toes together, hips back into that really wide child's pose. And then come back to your hands and knees. Go and step it back to our plank. We're gonna go into that side plank. So drop the heels to the right. This time that left arm is gonna reach up. And we're gonna add those little twists. So left arm is gonna come underneath the right, kind of reaching for your right shoulder blade. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, reach it through. Now, if you need to, lower that right shin down towards the mat. So hug, inhale it back up. Good, exhale, thread it through. Inhale it back up. We got 2 more. Reach it through, back up. Last one, reach it through. Send it back up and hold. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Front plank, hold for a breath. To the other side, heels to the left. Right arm reaches up. Into those twists. So reach that right arm under. Inhale, send it back up. Exhale, reach it under. Inhale it back up. Reach it through. Back up. Last 2. Reach it under. Back up. 1 more. Reach and up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Front plank hold. Get really strong through the legs, through the hands, the toes. Think hands are pulling back, toes are pulling forward. Let's see, not how long we can hold this, but we're going to try and hold this for a little bit longer. If you need to at any time, just lower it onto those knees. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it all the way down onto the stomach and point those toes, roll the shoulders down and back. So maybe we come into just that little cobra, that little back extension, or way up into that big up dog. And elbows, elbows are straight. Shoulders are relaxed down or pulling down. Big stretch through the abs, through that low back. Now if our arms are straight, it feels like just a crunch in the low back, just feels terrible. Bend into those elbows a little bit more, and take some of that pressure off of it. And then from here, just again, sit it back into that child's pose. Those knees can be as wide or as close together as you like. So again, if you're wider, a little more stretch those inner thighs. Close together, you'll get a little more rounding through that spine. It's kind of depending on what you feel like you need. And so a lot of the times when we're sitting, we do get a lot of rounding through the spine and through the upper back. So when we do this wide kneed child's pose, it gives us a little extension through that spine. It might feel really tight, but it also might feel good to kind of release that, the shoulders and the upper back, as well as the low back. Now let's come to a seat. So we're gonna come into a wide-legged hold. So if you need to adjust and go towards the long edge of your mat, okay, you can. Okay. So I kind of put one hand in front and one hand behind. So if I notice if I'm kind of rolled back on my tailbone, it kind of lifts me up. So I'm sitting a little bit taller. Okay. Slight bend into those knees, flexing those feet, and then think we're trying to pull the feet back, like we're trying to make the legs a little bit wider. Okay. Really flatten out that back. And then start to walk those hands forward. Start to feel that big stretch through those inner thighs, through those hamstrings, maybe the calves. Stay with that breath. Just keep walking those hands forward little by little as you bring that chest closer and closer to the ground. Maybe it's all the way down on the ground. If it is, that's awesome. As you can tell, I am nowhere close to that. And bring it back up. Lower that, your left elbow to your left thigh. Right arm reaches up and over like we're trying to reach for that toe without rolling the shoulders forward. Want to keep that chest nice and open. And inhale, bring it back up. Let's go to the other side. Lowering that right elbow down. Left arm reaches up and over. and bring it back up last time into that wide leg fold. So again, nice flat back. Kind of pulling those hands back to pull your chest towards the ground. Let's make our way back up. Bring those legs together. Let's roll it onto our backs. Go into that hip bridge. So if you beat me there, go right into it. And so toes are pointing forward. Legs are parallel to each other, pressing into those feet. Start by just pushing the low back into the ground first and lifting that tailbone up, and then continue to roll one vertebrae at a time, and scooping that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Legs stay parallel to each other, gripping the toes as well as the heels into the mat. And roll those hips back down. Let's cross that right ankle over that left thigh. Hug those knees in, grabbing onto that hamstring, or if you can keep that tailbone down, grab onto those shins. Keep that right foot flexed, hug that knee in a little bit tighter. And lower that foot down. Tee out those arms, or at least reach that left arm out. And drop the knees over to that right side. So that left foot just stays on the ground. You're just coming onto that inside edge of that foot. And bring it back up. Switching sides, cross that left ankle over, grab on hamstring or to the knee. And go ahead and lower that leg down again. Keep that left ankle over, right arm reaches out. And twist it to the left side. And bring that knee back up. Uncross it. Hug those knees in and rock up to a seat. Take a, we'll go like 3 or 4 breaths here, just kind of on your own. Really big breath in through the nose. Fill those lungs completely. And then exhale it out through the nose. Let's go 2 more just like that. All right, blinking those eyes open. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We got intermediate yoga this afternoon at 4:45. To hope to see you guys there. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day and a great week.